guard. Handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. What I want you to want, what I want you to feel. But it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, I'm watching you. Turn your back like you always do. Face away and pretend that I'm not. But I'll be here cause you're all that I got. I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. A little bit insecure, a little unconfident. Cause you don't understand to do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. What you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. So let go, watching you. Turn your back like you always do.
It's showtime.
Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. My name is Kix. I am your cast, hoster, and organizer for the STPL. And here I am today, solo casting Rapid. In about 2 hours we'll be heading to the ASL 6 qualifiers in Seoul, Korea. So of course he couldn't be here this evening, but he should hopefully be back with me on Monday perhaps. But either way, it's going to be our third game of this series between SouL and Clan Revolution. We just saw Marinho take down Spire in a cool TVZ, and then we just saw Dandy take down nOOB. Now nOOB up against one of the best foreign Terran players at the moment, and did a pretty neat build that nearly caught Dandy off guard. So really don't have anything bad to say about that game. Really well done by nOOB. Unfortunately, he didn't win in the end, but he did show an incredibly strong showing. Just managed to overbuild drones a little bit too much, played a little bit too greedy off the back of his third base, and did bite him in the butt at the end there. But let's introduce our next two players and what map they are going to be playing on. Okay, so this time for SouL Gaming, it's one of their other newer players. You may have seen him recently in the Have At Yous. It's going to be nOOB on SouL. So nOOB is actually 3-0 up in this round so far. Didn't play in round 1. Was added for the roster at the beginning of round 2. AVM, I am from the UK, so the United Kingdom. Although I prefer to say I'm from Europe. And I'm losing my voice. Okay. So nOOB, a very strong player. Now his opponent going to be standing up for his team. It is the captain himself. Some say that even though he's complete, he completes them. He completes their roster. It is incomplete. Now he did used to play Protoss. They did have a very big lack of Terran, so he made the race switch, took that dive to go into Terran. He did go 1 for 0 last round. He is 1 for 1 in round 2. And should be a very fun matchup here as we move on to our third map of the day. It's going to be another Terran as we move on to Troy. Now Troy, we've had two PBTs so far. For some reason, the Marine versus last game didn't oh boy. The Marine versus last game didn't record itself. But Terran are 2-0 up against Protoss at the moment on Troy. It's a desert tile set map. 12, 6, 3, and 9 o'clock third bases. And of course the island base as well, which we saw good usage in the last versus Marine game that was posted up on Reddit. If I was to recommend a game from that series, it'd certainly be that one. One of the most exciting STPL games we've had so far in round 2. I mean, we've had a very exciting tournament so far. We're in week 6 out of 7. We're going to be heading on to the playoffs of round 2 soon, and then shortly after into round 3 with a new map pool. So I'm looking forward to bringing that bring that to you guys very, very shortly. So let's head on over to our game, and let's get started with our third game of the series. And starting off here in the top left-hand side position, we do have the Red Protoss fighting for SouL. They're 1-for-1. It's gonna be nOOB. And his opponent down here in the bottom left-hand position is going to be the Blue Protoss, the captain of ReV, looking to take them up 2-1. It's going to be incomplete. Just in case there's a few of you who are watching the STPL for the first time, we've currently been going for 14, maybe 15 weeks so far. There's another at least 15 weeks to go. There's 2 more rounds after this one, and there's a grand final playoffs at the end of the year, possibly even the start of next year, depending on the timing of everything. But if you do want to support the tournament, there is a Matcherino page. You can also, of course, subscribe to my channel. You can follow my channel, that's a big help as well, and most importantly, just tune in once again. Of course, if you see me tweeting out anything, do try and retweet it as well. Just try and I'm trying to build up the tournament. Of course, it's a big tournament already in terms of players. I'm obviously not a Twitch partner, which I'm not too interested in. Not really important to me, but still, I do want to get the STPL name out as much as I possibly can for the benefit of the players more so than me. Because the bigger the prize pool, the more the players earn at the end of it. And it is a year-long tournament, so a lot of work been put in by every single team in the STPL, and they still have a long journey ahead of them. But the good thing about having such a long tournament is there's been a good number of stories that have already spawned, a few rivalries as well. Now this is a bit of a weird map. Now 2-Gate Power Goon, very, very popular on this map, just because if you haven't seen the recent ASL4, these assimilators have a very specific property to them. Assimilators are slightly bigger than empty gases. It's going to be hard to show those off because there are no empty gases in view. But the Vespene Geyser is slightly bigger than an assimilator, so when this is blocked off, when one of them is killed, you cannot rebuild their stacked gases. They're empty as well. But basically, only small units can get through. And then when you kill both, no units can get through. Now that did lead to a very interesting game between Last and Marine, where Marine locked Last in his base very early on. And Last had to pull his way back with dropship play. Now, dropship's very popular on this map for Terran. You can take a very quick early third base on that island. You can't quite see them, but you would have seen them before on the map overview. But a very, very cool map nonetheless. Incomplete getting a good scout off. Needs to pull his SCV away if he doesn't want to lose it. Unfortunately, he's going to lose his SCV. Did pull it the wrong way. But going to try and scout for an additional pylon just to see if he's missed anything. The means are pretty big on this map. We're going to see nOOB expand behind this, so it's not going to be 2-Gate Power Goon. But meanwhile, Incomplete is going to take his own expansion as well. So, quite even in terms of economy. And both players going to be looking to take this into the mid-game. Now, I do apologise for the short break in silence there. This is the first time I've solo cast in a while. I usually end up playing or casting a lot with Rapid, so unfortunately he's not here today. But I do need to have a quick break for my voice just to catch a few drinks and stuff. We're going to have a Robo coming in from nOOB though. Now, one thing I will say as well, I'm going back to the whole supporting the STPL thing again. If you do have any feedback, be it positive or negative, do hit me up on Twitter. Send me a PM on Team Liquid under the name Kix. My Twitter is KixSD. And if you've got any compliments as well, that would be much appreciated. I've had a lot of positive feedback recently from people. A lot of people sending me messages of saying how much they're enjoying the tournament. And at the end of the day, if it wasn't for you guys, this tournament wouldn't be happening. Like, I know I've put a lot of work into it, but at the end of the day, if no one was watching it, the players wouldn't be playing in it, and we wouldn't be 6 weeks out of round 2, heading into the 7th week, second set of playoffs as well. So, huge thank you to everyone who supported the STPL so far. Of course, a huge thank you, because I don't thank them enough. Just to give you an idea of the prize pool at the moment, we're currently at $1,124.80. So a huge thank you to everybody who has managed to donate to the tournament so far. Now, if you are interested in the prize breakdown, it is all in the thread on Team Liquid. But basically, the bottom 6 or so teams are going to get 1% of the prize pool. Obviously, the main bulk of it will go down. We actually see nOOB taking this island base, doing what Incomplete could have possibly done, and looks like he's going to. He's building a starport. This is going to be a very quick third base here by nOOB, but going to be very hard for Incomplete to really punish. Now, both players playing quite defensively here. Incomplete has blind built turrets just because he didn't get any scouting information. And while that is going to help him against this ReV that's coming, of course he didn't know this. This is a little bit of a blind situation. Now, maybe he scouted it, actually. I think there might be a turret under here. That would be a very good move by him, but are we going to see shuttle speed? Yes, we are. And we're going to see nOOB starting to put on a little bit of pressure. Now, nOOB, of course, taking this third base first. Going to give himself a very economical advantage here. We have Incomplete going in for a dropship, so he is going to look to take his own island very soon. But this is going to be the first big moment in the game. Now, if you're wondering why that mineral field is there, it's so you can't drop tanks or ghosts to nuke the base. Very important. One of the map features that the Kesper map makers use very sparingly, because you didn't see that many maps with this kind of architecture. But here we go, Incomplete following this shuttle around. This is going to be a very important thing for him to try and deal with. Now, are we going to see a Wraith? It's going to be a dropship first, but he could, of course, go for this Wraith. Now, here we go, the ReV dropping down. Is it going to be able to get any kills? Does get a Vulture. Does have 4 Scarabs so far. Does get a shot off on the tank. Incomplete actually running into it. But we're going to have dropship micro again. Shuttle micro here. Great usage. Oh, great pickup by Incomplete here. He's only been playing Terran very recently. Does lose the tank in the end, though. And gonna lose his command center. We see the Wraith coming in, but he's actually getting a supply block. This ReV doing so much damage. And oh my god, this tank could go down to a mine drag. Picks it up at the last second. Great usage once again. Oh, Incomplete is doing an incredibly good job with his dropship micro here. Of course, his macro is slipping behind this. It's very hard to micro and macro at the same time as any race in this game. And now nOOB back at home doing a very good job. Is supply block though, but does have another couple of ReVs, or at least another ReV, another shuttle as well. Gonna look to bring his other ReV back, get some health on that, pick up another ReV just to keep himself in the game and in the aggressive game as well. Now, we do see a Wraith out. Now, Wraiths do not outspeed shuttles with speed, so is it actually going to be... Okay, so it's going to be a double shuttle here. We're going to have 2 ReVs in one, and Dragoon and 2 Wraiths in the other. Now, was that actually a drop that I just missed from Incomplete? Yes, it was. My bad, but the Wraith coming over to try and see what's going on. And now, is there a matchup that goes better together than red versus blue on a desert map? Yes, there is. Orange versus yellow. But here we go. We see the double shuttles coming in. We already have a turret up here. Gonna do a little bit of damage to this shuttle. Gonna make it a little bit harder for nOOB to get out. But here we go. The double ReV gonna drop down. The SCV's being pulled immediately. And nice Scarab going down. Another huge Scarab. Oh no, Incomplete. It did a great job defending against the Wraiths the first time, or the ReVs even, but unfortunately not going to get it this time. He's going to kill the shuttles, but realistically, oh, turn around and kill the other shuttle if you can. Get that shuttle. One of the shuttles do go down. The Wraith is going to try and catch up with this the shuttle here, but can it do it? If it gets it, that's going to be a huge pick off for Incomplete. But as you can see, the speed very well matched. Very hard for this Wraith to catch up with the shuttle unless it turns in a weird way. And Incomplete is going to lose his Wraith here, unfortunately. There we go. Boom. It goes down. Now, there is still a Dragoon in the base. Incomplete did lose a lot of SCVs. He's currently 70 supply almost. No, sorry, 50 supply. I genuinely cannot read today. I've had a long day. But going to be down 50 supply against his opponent. nOOB is going to look to take a 4th base. And this base is going to be the big story in this game. There's nothing that Incomplete could do against it. And he is going to be facing against carriers. Now, unfortunately, I didn't manage to hide that close enough. But Fleet Beacon on the way. Of course, Interceptor upgrade should be done at this point. It takes 5 minutes for carriers to really get their full Interceptors after the Fleet Beacon starts. Or is it after the first Stargates? But 4 bases here for nOOB. And Incomplete is going to be in a very, very, very difficult situation here as the game moves forward. He's up to 5 factories, only building tanks out 1 factory at the moment. His macro slipped a lot while trying to do a lot of that micro. Now we actually see him going for another drop here. nOOB is already prepared for this with a cannon, but he can fly past and drop in the main. That is within his power, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. But here we go, double shuttle coming in again on the bottom side here. And it's going to be drop for drop. The shuttle going down. I need to actually see the Reavers. Are they in this one? No, they're not. They're actually empty. And here we go. The Vulture's doing a lot of damage, actually. They're going to scout the carriers as well. Great surround on the gateways, but he's not paying attention. He's trying to deal with this drop back at home. The control tower is going to go down as well. Going to make it harder to really deal with this. But here we go. The Vulture finally moving up. How many probe kills can it get? Gonna get 1. Gonna get 2. Makes it 3. How many more could he get? Maybe 4. But no, there we go. That's going to be cleaned up. No mines backfiring there for nOOB. And that drop is still alive in Incomplete's main. That 1 Dragoon being microed like a little trooper. The SCV 8. Oh, kill it with the Vulture, man. Come on. There we go. The Vulture's going to go in. It's not going to shoot, though. Oh, wow. He could have actually killed the Dragoon there. Waste of mine, but you know what? He keeps this Vulture alive. But here we go, we're going to have some probes pulling over to this 4th base now. Carriers, of course, have arrived. And with carriers on the field, Incomplete is now on a timer. One thing people don't seem to realize about TVP is well, I guess a lot of people do, but newer players may not realize, carriers are basically an egg timer for the Terran player. If you let the Protoss player get up to 12 carriers without killing him or doing vital damage, unfortunately, you will not win the game. If you're Flash, you may be able to do it, but anyone else, you may have problem. Now, Incomplete is actually adding on a lot of turrets. This is a byproduct of the fact he was supply blocked for so long. But this could be the move that ends the game. He only actually has 2 tanks here in defense, and he doesn't really have enough to deal with this. Now, the trouble is Incomplete, of course, doesn't know exactly what's going on. He has just scanned a lot. He sees 2 of the bases, sees the army outside of his base, sees 4 carriers, and Incomplete is going to know he's in a dangerous situation. He's not scouted the extra bases, but it's a case of whether or not he can even hold on to the front of his base here. We're going to see a Bulldog on the tanks as well, just for good measure, maybe going in the back of the base. And nOOB showing his prowess in the PvT matchup. Gonna even it up here for Protoss. Of course, Protoss are 2-0 down at the moment against Terran in the STPL on this map. But they're going to go 2 for 1 now. Now, Incomplete does have a lot of Goliaths. Does he have Charon boosters? I would hope he does, but he is a Protoss veteran himself. Only recently switching to... Oh, and here we go. What a great move. He's actually going to use the Interceptors to get the... to get the Zealots into the main. What a great usage of that. Now, there is a Wraith gonna go down. And here we go, the unit's not going to push in from the middle. He's going to wait until all the Goliaths pull back. And this is going to be a little bit too much. Building exit apparently blocked. I don't even know what building that is. But nice target firing on these Goliaths. Going to take down nearly one of the carriers. But there's going to be another 2 carriers on the way if they're not already in the group. Looks like they are not, in fact, with the group. It's still 4 carriers over here, so... no additional ones. Now I can hear units attacking something. but I can't see anything. Oh, I see. He's going to lock himself in. Very, very clever move. He knows he has the advantage. If he kills this base, no Goliaths are going to be able to get through there, no Vultures either, and that's going to be a perfectly safe base. Now, here we go. The egg timer is slowly ticking away. 6 carriers now for our Protoss player. Incomplete is going to try and move out. He's got very few tanks, but this is the moment he's going for. +1 attack has finished. Can he make something happen here? The shuttle very nearly going down. Another load of turrets have actually been completed here, but here we go. This is going to be the engagement that decides the game. Can Incomplete's Goliaths do what they need to do? Great storms going down on them. And I think this is going to be a little too late for Incomplete as he goes down. GG! With a smiley face. And nOOB is going to finish off his opponent here. And looks like he's going to carry this on for a little bit. I mean, I guess we'll just watch this, right? I mean, he's just killing everything. There we go, he finally left. But nOOB with a very, very strong performance there against our Terran player, Incomplete. I mean, Incomplete had a very, very strong opponent to go against there, and this, of course, is just a few, well, maybe months now, actually, of Incomplete switching to Terran. So, Incomplete, as someone who has not played Terran very much, has really, really impressed me with this play, and I look forward to it in round 3 as well. Now, of course, we're going to move here on to our fourth game of the series even. This could be our final game of the night. It's going to be between 2 interesting players here. It's going to be a matchup that may be a little bit controversial, but it's a matchup I certainly know and love very, very well. So let us head over to the intro for possibly the last time this evening. And let's get ready with our 4th game of the series. See you guys